DC here. Hi guys and gals. I hope you're well. It's Sunday afternoon, and the weather's changing. I don't know if you can hear the rain. It's raining, not much, but just enough to not really be able to go out for a walk unless you had a brolly. But otherwise, yeah, it's just kind of comfortable here on the deck. But weather's changed. Yesterday was kind of changing over. I managed to make a barbecue. Had a nice barbecue some chicken legs, and it was good. Had one of my sons over. The second son, the first son of DC was away in Spain with his family. It's raining stronger. And second son of DC was here with his partner, and we had a good meal. But today, not such a nice day. We were at church this morning, and I was the cameraman, and we got some guy that came over. It wasn't the usual pastor, so it was a man who heads up. He's part of mission work in I'm going to say in Eastern Europe, where they help a lot with actually with orphanages and things like that. And he showed a lot of slides, and was talking about different things that they do, basically. But for myself, as a cameraman and having to set up the video later on, it was a real pain because I had to basically, map the slides later on to the words that he was saying, because I'm filming the guy talking just with a normal digicam, and after with Final Cut on my Mac, I put it together and take pictures of his PowerPoint. I had his PowerPoint, so basically had to put the pictures next to what he was saying, so that people could understand and make sense of it, those who were watching online. So it wasn't technically difficult. It was just a little bit of a pain to listen along and then put the things together. But I did that. And it didn't take me that long. It took me about 20 minutes, I guess, 20 minutes about, approximately. But I realized that there's a lot of things like that I learned because I've been doing YouTube for years, and I don't do much editing now. Basically, I just vlog, and when you're vlogging, every now and then you might just patch together a couple of clips, but there's no real editing. But years ago, those of you who have been on YouTube, like I've been on YouTube for 16 years, something like that, I guess. 16, 17 years. But, must be. Yeah, it must be. Was it 2000? Might be longer than that, actually. Was it 2006? YouTube? Whatever. It doesn't really matter, but it's been a long time. And, I'm just wondering if it's that long ago. It doesn't really matter. But just to say that those of you who've been on YouTube for many, many years know that in the olden days, guys like myself and many others, we used to do a lot of these spoof videos, like little comedy skits and stuff like that. And there was a lot of editing in that. There really was. And actually, we all got pretty good at it, didn't we? But today, I realize that there's things that I don't even know if I would know. I'd have to learn how to do it all over again. There's things that you work sometimes with time frames and stuff like that, where I would have things moving around depending on the time frames, where we mix in animation with reality, put it that way. We were actually pretty good, weren't we? I'm surprised at times, when we look at today's world. And like I say, we're just vlogging, and then we were doing a lot of those things. But anyway, not just the way it is. Not many people are into making spoofs and things like that. They all kind of like wanted to be ultra professional now. And we weren't ultra professional then. I mean, we just laughed around and did a lot of, like I say, our funny little skits. I'm just thinking at one point, we were making the comic book series at the time. Actually, I guess now, if we made a super sweetness video with the chef and Baldy, we probably have to have it like super sweetness in the seniors residence. That probably would have to be the title of the comic book, because I mean everybody everybody was doing that. You know, they're basically they're seniors now. That's all I can say, except for Mary. And, yeah, but that's different. You know, the ones that we actually did, I could say live. Most of us would be in the seniors. Would be no, we're not in a seniors residence. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's when you see how time passes. When YouTube started, a lot of us, you know, we were young. We were young. And in the meantime, well, sadly, many have actually passed away, or simply just not doing anything like that anymore. But that's when you see that life changes and life moves on. The other thing was that I realized is that a lot of people were getting into it, because it was like technology that was new, and people were like really into making videos and stuff, because it was like doing movies. And today's age, where everybody's got a cell phone, and anybody can make a quick video. Nobody gets excited about those things anymore. They're just like the old guys like myself, I guess, that just kind of continue. And we're only vlogging because basically that's all that counts probably now, because nobody would take our little spoof serious anymore. I've been reading up on how many people are making videos, you know, using artificial intelligence. I made one or two myself using some free programs, and it is fun, but it's too easy. You know what I mean? It's just like when we were making the videos ourselves, we had to work for it, and we were really satisfied when we saw, like, I don't know, a green screen, for example. I got a green screen in my setup in the basement. If I wanted to use it, I just pull it out and everything. But today's world, you don't need that. You just select the subject and remove the background, add a new background, and you can do all those things, you know, now. Okay, it's a little bit more complicated with video, but barely, you know. So, yeah. Anyway, I guess a lot of you that are listening to this or watching this actually are not doing any spoofs or things like that. Most of you are vloggers by now. I found something though really weird though last week and the week before. I did see a video that said change the tags in your videos to get more views. So I changed one or two tags, and all of a sudden my Spanish videos are getting more views, not a lot, but getting more views than my vlogs. And I mean, I'm speaking Spanish in a pretty broken way, because it's part of my exercises for one, in learning Spanish. But still, I was surprised at that, you know. People have actually probably got into the algorithm and are seeing my videos. Weird, isn't it? Anyway, that's all for today. It's long enough. I'm coming up to 10 minutes anyway. And in the old days, you could not, I think there was a 10-minute limit, wasn't there? Or was it even less than that? I'm trying to remember. Anyway, it doesn't matter. That's all for now. DC signing off. Take care, everybody. Have a good Sunday. Bye-bye.